time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? What'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
I'm a fraud.
Yes. Well, I read the USA Today and I read the New York Times, and I read those both every day. And I listen to music. It wouldn't do me any good to listen to talk shows, because what's great about America, everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? But what's also great about America, you don't have to listen to them, and that's the great part.
San Diego, Chargers, San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers. Now what do you think? What do you think of that?
Are you going out to tip the light fandango and have a couple of cocktails?
Not going anywhere, no.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I always love that one.
We're the state of hockey, and I think that proves it, so...
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
Touchdown! Vikings!
Quarterback quandary.
Time for 2 more questions, guys.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Rum begins in 5, actually 3, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon. Ack, and Dak, to you and yours. I'm Comedies Tend to be here till 3. Big ticket, JG, poised, polished, professional, 3 o'clock until 6:30. The host of this program is uninformed, unprepared, and unrepentant about it. We'll meander our way. We tend to wing it. I'm a radio gardener. We just plant a seed, water, weed it. Hopefully a little sunshine breaks through and we see where it goes. Radio architecture isn't for us. It's great. Radio architecture is actually the best way to go because it's usually pretty foolproof if you're following a plan, but it's just not my cup of tea. Never has been, never will be, and I don't like authority either, just in case. I like police, but I just don't like authority. I don't like when I'm told what to do, which is what happened today. Dude, who does the shopping in your house? Grocery shopping? Do you, your wife, you both? You send the boys out?
Well, we don't ever go to the store. We do it all.
Right.
We have it all delivered, and I would say we probably share the duties.
So when you have it delivered, then, I mean, do you get like produce?
Yeah.
And meat? And you just trust the person that's packing that it's going to be, because
sometimes it's not the way you like it. Like I'm a banana guy, as you are well aware. I eat a banana every morning.
Well, you've taught me a whole bunch of things. You've taught me a lot. There's 2 or 3 things that I've learned from you. As one is, and it's probably the most important, is the proper way to peel a banana. I used to always try to tear the stem, and when you do, all of a sudden you squish 3/4 of the banana, and then you told me peel it from the bottom, and I thought that was preposterous, much like I thought having a calendar on my phone was preposterous, blah, blah, blah. And that's the only way I peel a banana now. But anyway.
I forgot where I was going now with that.
Because when you're ordering food, you don't get your pick of the litter when it comes to the bananas. They just bring you bananas.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, I get bananas every time. So there's like a note section. So it does say, don't want the bananas too green, don't want them brown. Now, you're sort of like Goldilocks. In other words, she wants the porridge is too hot, the other porridge is too cold. She wants it just right. Just right. Okay. Now, they don't always listen to that, but for the most part, they get it right.
Okay. And because like for me, if I go out and buy a head of lettuce, I squish lettuce. I don't know if this is right, but I like it when it seems to be real firm, because to me that seems like it's fresher. When you go buy berries, you got to be really careful, because if you go buy berries and just by looking at them and strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, all of those things you have to take a look at. Avocados now, I'm big on avocados because it's a healthy form of fat. And I've learned that I had to Google this, much like I Googled Signetti and then I Googled avocados. And when you press an avocado with your thumb, if it rebounds right away, it's still good. If your indentation stays in there, it's starting to get bad and you don't want to eat it. The reason I ask is, my wife does all the grocery shopping, though I volunteered to. I used to when she was pregnant, with the two boys, I'd always go. I like grocery shopping. I enjoy it. I especially like when they're giving away the free samples. Of course, when I come by for the third or fourth time and the free samples are kind of on to me at that point. They're like, this isn't a place to eat lunch. You're supposed to sample it and then decide if you want to buy it. See, that's the thing you miss is the free sample days on Saturdays. They usually do it on the weekend when they're busy. They'll have little samples like cheese and sausage with crackers or maybe pizza or something like that.
They always have them at Costco.
Yeah, it's always a wonderful thing. Do you order from the same grocery store?
So out of our orders, I basically am the Aldi and Cub Foods order.
Okay.
And my wife does the Costco and Target ordering.
Do you do anything like Lund's Byerly's? And I'm not even talking about the high-end Lund's Byerly's. I'm even talking about the employee Lund's Byerly's. That's an inside joke here at the radio station, so I just had to fit it in. How about we have Jerry's Foods, we have Kowalski's, we have a number of grocery stores.
Yeah.
We
have a Kowalski's right by our house.
Yeah, we shop them all.
Yeah.
My wife shops independent. She thinks that and I don't know which store she likes better for each individual item, but she says she thinks some stores one of the stores has the best baked goods, another store has the best produce, another has the best meat section, right? So she kind of bounces around from each one. The one thing about Cub, and we do shop Cub as well, and the thing about Cub is, do you know what a Cub card is?
Sure.
Do you have a Cub card?
No.
Cub Card's a wonderful thing. It does all sorts of things, including it gives you discounts at the gas pump. Okay? I've never used the Cub Card before. My wife always has the Cub Card. Well, she now has an EV, so she doesn't need the Cub Card. So she says to me, she said this to me on a number of occasions now. She says, the next time you need gas, let me know and I'll give you my Cub Card. You get it's like 15 or 20 cents off per gallon of gas. That adds up over time, right?
Sure.
What if, let's say you're 15 gallons that you're filling up. I'm going to do the Shack thing now. $80, fill up your tank. When it gets down to half, you fill it up again. You're paying half as much for gas. Still one of my favorite moments in the history of Chuck, Kenny the Jet, Shack, and Ernie. And then the best part is when Shack starts scolding Ernie. Kenny, you're not listening. You're not listening to me. You fill it up for $80, gets back down to half. You put in $20, you save money on gas because you're not paying $80 again. Brilliant. And do you think Shaq was doing it as a bit, this was planned out, or do you think he really believed that?
The more it went on, I thought it wasn't a bit.
Yeah. I think he actually thinks it was. It's still my favorite. I still get it. We watch it every once in a while because you can find it on YouTube. But now, so I go, okay, that sounds cool. So my wife leaves off the Cub Card. I got no gas left in the car. You got to go to a Holiday station to do it, right? I get to the Holiday, and this is, you know how you Google Signetti if you want to know if he wins? I Googled how to use a Cub Card because I don't know, because Do you swipe the card? Do you insert the card? Do you do that before the credit card or after the credit card? These are questions I don't know, and I don't want to be fumbling at the pump. So I pull up to the pump, and I'm nervous because it didn't really explain it very well on Google. And so, lo and behold, I get to the point where I put the nozzle into the gas tank, and then I try to pump gas. Within a half a second, the guy over the loudspeaker goes, "Sir, this is prepay only or pay at the pump." Well, I know that. I'm struggling here not to revert to all fours. But I don't want to say to him because, first of all, it's a full gas station. When he goes, "Sir, it's pay at the pump or pay inside here," everybody looks at me. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going, "What kind of an idiot
Sir,
is
on
this?"
pump 4.
Yeah, I'm the idiot. Everybody's going, "Has this guy never pumped gas before? Does he not know?" Because there's not a gas station in the country where you can just pump gas and then walk in and pay for it later. And I get it. It's called gas and dash, right? People will just drive off without paying, right? So now he's embarrassed me in front of all these people. He just did it so sternly. "Sir," and I wanted to say, "I know. I'm struggling with the Cub card and the pay for the..." I never figured out the Cub card. I couldn't figure it out. So I did the credit card first, and then I said, I tried to swipe the Cub card. It said, "Remove quickly." Well, I've already left it in there for a couple seconds, so now, when they say remove, have you ever had that? Remove quick. Well, how quickly is quickly? Because sometimes I'll pull it out right away and they'll say, "It didn't register, go again." Well, Kennedy, the world has left me behind. I can't even conduct a simple gas purchase with a credit card and a Cub card. I'm the only one in the world that can't do it, so I had to text my wife. She's so disappointed she hasn't even responded yet. I said, "I tried the Cub card. It didn't work." So I didn't save
that one.
And I even pressed the receipt to see if it would indicate if it did work, it didn't work. So I don't know
if the person behind you got free gas out of it.
Well, maybe the person behind me got free gas. Maybe got that my credit card number too. But I mean, isn't that literally one of the... I'm thinking it's one of the simplest things to do, and I could not do it.
The gas pump can get a little complicated sometimes.
Thanks,
like
appreciate that.
I've got a gas station by me that has some sort of rewards thing. And then every time there's like 3 different options, and the option I have to hit is cancel, but I'm always worried I'm going to cancel the entire transaction.
Yeah, right. This is
just let me get my gas. I don't want all the bells and whistles
Have
here.
you ever done, "Do you want a car wash?"
Oh, yeah.
And I say yes. Then I forget that I bought a car wash. I get my car and drive off, and I'm 20 minutes away, and I go, I left my receipt in there with my car wash code, so somebody got a free car wash. You know what's another trick on the car wash? Don't go to the car washes where you just pull in and then you stop, and then it takes 5 minutes. I've seen people at a gas station in Woodbury that has one of those. They're lined up 10 deep. Each car wash is 5 minutes. You're going to be there for 2 hours. Go to one of those conveyor belt ones. I'm a conveyor belt guy. So sometimes I have trouble getting the wheel, even though I'm a Skip Barber Racing School grad. And I always tip the person that's spraying down the car. And they always seem to do a better job spraying the car when you give them a couple of bucks. When you grease their palm a little bit.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw a little money at the problem.
We've got Peek at the Purple coming back on the other side of the break. Also, we're going to talk with the head coach at 12:30 of the University of Wisconsin River Falls. They won the Division III National Championship, the Alonzo Amos Stag Bowl. 3/4 of the team are Twin Cities kid, the star quarterbacks from a tough guy town of Coon Rapids. So we'll talk to him at about 12:30 or so, 534, top of the break, and then Rock Talk with Brian Moe.
Just 2 minutes ago, text that Rock Talk, he cannot do it today. I'll explain to you.
Whoa, boy. Can you do Rock Talk? Rock Talk.
We can just Rock Talk with each other.
We'll do Rock Talk.
We'll talk about Tupac and Biggie at 1:30 today.
We'll talk about Tupac and Biggie, and I got a couple of other biggies to talk about as well. Then Mark Rosen at 2 o'clock. We'll break. We'll come back with a little Dished Out Loud with the Common Man program on the fan.
witness undeniable blues rock brilliance when Joe Bonamassa. Lights up the Treasure Island Amphitheater. Don't miss out when the 5-time Grammy nominee takes the stage alongside Government Mule.
And Joe Bonamassa.
On August 15th. Secure your tickets today at TICasino.com.
Sending Abbott a text right now. Now I'm struggling with hip cricket again.
Uh-oh.
Well, now it wants me to log in to... It's not worth even getting into, I guess. It's just, that's not what... And I can't do it. And I can't receive text messages. No. I can't spell hip cricket. Hip cricket.
Can't spell hip cricket?
I can't, no. Well, I must... Do you ever have trouble texting? You hit the wrong letters?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I can't.
I screw up I and O all the time.
It's
fat thumbs.
My boys laugh at me because they never make a mistake. My boys spend more time laughing at me than they do anything else. And I guess I understand why. A Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable Electric, they do so many great things for you, including, how about this? I found that cheat sheet I was looking for the other day. Give me 1 second. I got it for you here. If something doesn't seem right with your electrical system, it probably isn't. Affordable Electric handles emergency troubleshooting for flickering lights, dead outlets, hot switches, burning smells, and overloaded circuits. Do not wait until a small problem becomes a big one. Book online today, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, as always, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. You know, Kennedy, we've been talking a lot about the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings during Peek at the Purple, and why wouldn't we? That's what we're supposed to do. But I would, and so we were talking about Seifert's piece in the in ESPN about the quarterback situation, how it got to where it was. I was also looking at Alec Lewis's piece regarding just, where the Vikings are, where they've been, where they're going, where they're at, and what they are going to have to do going forward. And they've got plenty of work ahead of them, I think, as we all know. I mean, these are very sobering. These paragraphs he has are very, very sobering. I'll read a couple of them to you about, because he goes over the quarterback situation as well and how it got to where it is today. But he says here, sticking with McCarthy as the surefire starter heading into 2026 would be a powerful statement in the youngster's favor, but O'Connell will be entering his 5th season and is yet to earn a playoff win. And that always has to be figured into the formula, right? If you trust the young kid to build him up again, is ownership behind you? Because the Wills for certainly, I don't know about other ownerships, but the Wills certainly, they want to win, and they want to win now. I think most do. They want to win championships. So I said, well, we've had you here. This will be your 5th year, and we don't have a playoff win yet. So then that's a situation that certainly needs to be discussed internally. Do you go with the rookie quarterback again? Do you bring in a veteran? We talked yesterday. Veteran quarterbacks that are competent, that can help lead you to regular season wins and into the playoffs, they're hard to come by, right? Especially of the backup variety. But then they have to decide what to do with TJ Hawkinson, what to do with Kelly, what to do with Hargrave, depth needed at tackle, cornerback, and safety. They must also review the draft process. It just goes on and on, talking about all of the things that they need to do that are... It's not as simple as it might be. You look at some other teams, and they seem to be, the Packers, as long as they get Micah Parsons back, they seem to be in a pretty good spot. Now, they had Kraft had an injury too, so they've got guys have to come back from injury. First of all teams have to get healthy again, right? Even Lions, for instance, they have offensive linemen that are hurt, defensive backs. But you look at the Vikings, and it seems like there are a number of slots to fill, and even ones that they already have filled. Some of these guys are making too much money. We saw that they're struggling with the salary cap again, and it's I think they're burning the midnight oil. They should be burning the midnight oil over there at the New Winter Park at TCO Performance Center, trying to figure out how they move forward with the current roster, what they do, how many guys will they have to, either rework contracts or simply let go? How many people will they have to, they have to do the draft? It's there's
going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a lot of changes, and that was why part of what I was saying. Look, there's nothing wrong with winning. I get that, and the coach made it the number one priority, or one of their number one priorities. We want to win as many games as we can. And they went on a nice 5-game winning streak. They beat a bunch of lousy teams. Part of the idea was building blocks for next year. And again, a couple of spots in the draft isn't that big of a deal, though when they were 4-8, they finished 6-11. I think they're probably drafted in around 10, 11, 12 maybe. And that's a big difference from drafting 18th. Because you get that same draft spot in every single
round.
In every single round. But again, that's the coach thought building blocks, getting people, something to build on for next year. And my comeback to that is I just don't know once next year rolls around. Last year is pretty much forgotten by people. I don't think guys are going to be on the practice field hitting blocking sleds or tackling dummies or going into football games thinking, boy, it was sure nice to win those games last year. Really, it's something we can lean on. I don't really believe that. All these guys have won games, they've lost games, they've had different sorts of streaks through their career from playing Pop Warner, Howard Pulley, junior high, middle school, high school, pro football. I mean, look at, for instance, with J.J. McCarthy. He only lost, one game? Was it 1 game or 3 games that he lost in his entire high school?
Very little, yeah.
In college career. Well, how much of those building blocks help him when he got to the pros? Very little, right? He's lost more games in 1 year than he lost in 8 years of high school and college football, however long it was. So, and then there's the Brian Flores situation. Is he coming back or is he not? Nevertheless, there is a football team that's been very successful.
And is there a schism there?
Well, there could be a schism there. That's the other thing we don't know. There has been one football team in the area that's been very successful. University of Wisconsin River Falls won a natty. They won the Division III National Championship. We'll talk to their head coach. We'll do that next here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
It's a wild Wednesday here on KFAN, and we're taking your talkbacks for tickets all day long. Use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app and tell us what impact you think Quinn Hughes has made on the team. Winners will be selected all day for Wild versus Devils tickets on the 12th. Get the details at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. He is Tennessee. University of Wisconsin River Falls won its first NCAA Division III football championship this past weekend. 24-14 victory over the defending national champion North Central College. Stag Bowl, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. They did so this past weekend. We're excited and delighted to welcome the head coach of the University of Wisconsin River Falls onto the program, Matt Walker. Matt, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a natty.
Thank you. It's an honor being on here. I'll tell you what, I can always tell when someone other than me, my wife or my kids, has been in my car because it's off this station. So I just want you to know I listen all the time. It's an honor to be on here.
Well, I appreciate that. It's an honor to have you on. A little ack-ack-a-dack and dack-dack-ack to you and yours. I guess your family doesn't quite get the Common Man bit, and I understand that because, you know what, my wife doesn't either. You've been, I did a little research, much like Signetti. I Googled him. I also Googled you. You've been at UW River Falls for 15 seasons. Is that correct?
Correct. Boy, it took longer than anybody wanted it to. Nobody was more frustrated than me, to turn this thing around. But, yeah, it's been a long time. It took a lot of dedication and commitment from a lot of people to hang in there with me through this run. We went through a lot of phases to rebuild this thing to make this happen last weekend.
It's the first conference title since 1998, first outright since 85. Program's first NCAA playoff appearance since 1996. You were named the WIAC Coach of the Year for the second time in your career. And, You win. You beat a team that were the defending national champions, and they had a 20-plus game winning streak. I think pretty good accomplishment for your club.
Yeah, I think they'd lost 2 games in 5 years.
Wow.
I told the team the very first Monday after our semifinal win, I said, I put a slide up of a big picture of their helmet, and I said, almost everybody loses this game before it's ever played because of the logo on the helmet. I said, here's the plan. We're going to be unapologetically aggressive, which you heard on the broadcast if you watched. They were talking about that. And I said, we might lose 100-0, but we are going to do what very few are willing to do against this group. They're so good and been so good for so long. Everybody gets conservative and changes their plan and just kind of plays the game they want to do and shorten the game. I said, we're going to attack. Again, we might get our brains beat in, but we're going to do it attacking them, and I think we can win the football game with this blueprint. And it just was a way to make them play a game that they are not used to and don't want to play. And I think that, if you watch the game, we didn't even convert on all the fourth down stuff and some of the aggressive moves that we did. We didn't even always convert, but I think it did make them uncomfortable because it's a game they weren't used to playing.
Well, you were down early. I read the accounts. I did not see the game. I was out of town on vacation, but I saw that you were down midway in the second quarter, 14-3, but then you got a late score to get it to 14-10, and then third quarter, I think it was the fourth quarter when your team really took over and you scored, 21 unanswered? Is that what it ended up being? Yeah, we did. This offense gets a ton of publicity, and for good reason. We lead all levels of college football in total offense. This quarterback, Caleb Law from Fridley, he broke Joe Burrow's college football record for total offense, just some insane things. But this defense, after giving up 7, and 10 the first half, shuts them out the rest of the football game. They've had 101 straight games of scoring 20 points or more, and our defense won this championship for us. With all this publicity and the crazy video game numbers, we lead the nation in just about everything offensively. This defense won the title on Sunday. Absolutely incredible. The Blaha kid that's quarterbacking for you from Fridley, is he a senior? He is a senior, yep. In fact, I think he was probably the favorite to be the player of the year in the country last year. The year before that, 23, led the nation in total offense, and then the whole deal. He popped his hamstring in week 3, tore it completely in week 4. We lost him for the year and was granted a medical red shirt. We knew we had a special team coming back, but when you get the best player in the nation to be your quarterback again, we knew this could be a special run. He's something. The Vikings are looking for somebody to push McCarthy. Do you think Caleb might be interested in going as an undrafted free agent over to the new Winter Park? I'll tell you what, and I'm not kidding. I think the kid can play at the next level. I'm probably blessed, or we are probably blessed that he's a senior now and not early in his career with this transfer portal. NIL thing is going bananas right now because I just can't imagine we could hold on to him. He's such a talent. I think he will play at the next level. I really believe it. He threw for 419 total. He finished with 419 total yards and 3 total touchdowns in that championship game. And you brought up, you had a lot of other. In reading the recap of the game, you had a lot of kids come up big, especially like you say on the defensive side of the ball too, right? We did. Taylor Susner's a Chaska kid, absolutely insane game. Andre Hall, amazing game. Cody Curtis is a Buffalo, Minnesota kid at D tackle. He made the big play there. With the short yardage run, absolutely, it's fun. We're in such a unique location where we're half Minnesota, half Wisconsin. These Packer Viking days are so special here, but it's quite a fun melting pot. We got country bumpkins from the middle of Wisconsin, these inner city minority kids and suburban kids, and we got a few kids out of Arizona. We're such a unique melting pot of kids. It makes it so special. These kids are. I think I said after the game, they motivate me to be a better person because of how good the kids they are. It's a special group. Our head coach our guest is head coach Matt Walker of the University of Wisconsin River Falls, who won the Division III national championship. When you started out the season, it's kind of a cliched question, but could you envision this happening, or where you're like, well, we're going to be good, but to start thinking about national championships is, I think, that's pretty heady stuff. I would tell you yes. I think, we were rebuilding like crazy, frustrated still with no results. We came out of COVID,
made some bold decisions over that year. You were kind of forced to have that year off, and we made some bold ones. We moved our offensive coordinator to our defensive coordinator, which he found us calling. I went all in with a young assistant at the time, Joe Matheson, who's my offense coordinator now. We said, we're going to become the fastest team in the world that snaps the football, and we have become it. No one at any level goes faster than us. And we came out of a COVID and won 9 games and haven't left the top 25 since, and have been really close a couple times to get in the playoffs. We just couldn't get in. And then when you get in, we just kick the door down. And along the way, you beat, Whitewater and La Crosse. We beat St. John's in that quarterfinal game and a great one here. And, you just make this march that is legendary. So the answer, the short answer is yes. I really believe we could do it. Caleb Law came back, and I can remember sitting here, right behind me, my couch, and him sitting there saying, I don't care about any of these individual awards that you're talking about. I just want to win the national championship. He said that right to me, and I knew we had something cooking. I really did.
Hey, Matt, I see that you're not only the head coach, but you're also the quarterback's coach. So given your quarterback put up historic numbers this year, I'm curious, what's your history? Did you play quarterback at all going up? And what is kind of your philosophy, and how do you teach the quarterback position?
I did. I played football and baseball both at DePaul University in Indiana. I'm an Indiana guy. I would tell you I was a really good high school quarterback and a mediocre high school baseball player, and I ended up being a very mediocre college quarterback and had a really fun baseball career. But yeah, it's always been a passion of mine to coach quarterbacks. It was fun. One of the things about the game being in Canton at the Hall of Fame, they grant each team some time at the Hall of Fame, and my quarterbacks get so tired of me talking about Dan Marino. I grew up a Dan Marino nut. It's all I could ever talk about. If I'm in a beer league, which we have beer league softball, and now I run the damn team, so I get to pick the numbers. But if I wouldn't get to be number 13, it would still drive me nuts. And so here's the Hall of Fame, and the kids are walking around. I'm getting picture after picture of these guys in front of all the Dan Marino stuff, making fun of me about the Dan Marino thing. But I would tell you I coach them a little differently with this offense. We're unique with running the quarterback and how we do things, going as fast as we go. We probably do coach them more uniquely than anybody else in the country.
Would you call yourself a quarterback whisperer?
Well, it's funny. Like, when I wasn't winning any games, everyone thought I was stupid. I haven't changed any, and now I'm super smart because we win a bunch. So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
You mentioned you played baseball at DePaul, but you also coached there, did you not? You coached both football and baseball, and at what point did you know your direction was to coach football?
Well, the head baseball coach at the time that I played was Ed Myers. There over 35 years as the head baseball assistant football coach. And I was going to go to dental school and had a pretty unique run in baseball where I don't want to call it dreams. They were delusions at the time that I could play beyond college. And so I didn't even finish my dental school requirements because I was going to go be Roger Clemens. And as soon as I found out it wasn't going to work, I had nothing going. And Coach Meyer asked me to stay on as an assistant baseball. That first year I was just baseball. He retired, and I fell into his position. I became the head baseball coach at 23 years old and was an assistant football. Easy transition. Again, Coach Moreau is my football coach. I quarterbacked for him and quickly got into the football thing. So I was the baseball guy there for 10 years as the head baseball. But people closest to me knew I was really into the football, passionate about both, and could see it being the direction I went with my life one day and ended up here.
How about, you won a national championship. Now it took 15 years to get there. I'm not trying to shove you out of your job or start any salacious rumors, but would you have any interest in moving up in the ranks, or you found a home there, you want to stay there, you want to repeat, or do you have any long-term plans? I mean, you've been there a long time, obviously.
I think I said after the game, and it's kind of going viral now, but there's no place in the world like River Falls. I really believe that. This is a special place that's got charm that you cannot put into words. And here's the truth. I'm obviously getting that question a lot, and I haven't even talked about it directly with my players, but the answer is no. I don't have any interest in actively trying to get out of here. I haven't applied to a single place. It's like, again, if the Pittsburgh Steelers want to come, pay me $10 million a year, I'll probably have to take a pretty good sniff at it. So it's like, I'm not going to close any doors and to say the phone isn't ringing a little bit's a lie. But I love River Falls. My family and I, this is home, became home in a hurry. I have no interest in actively trying to get out of here. I think we can be better next year. I think we can win it again. I really believe that. So we got something special here.
Got a nice golf course over there, too. I played it this last fall. Yeah, so you got golf.
Kilcarney or River Falls Golf Course?
River Falls. I played River Falls Golf Course. I played them all. I've never played Kilcarney. I've driven by, but I played River Falls last year with some guys for the They had put together the Danny Boy Open for a young man who's losing his eyesight, and I volunteered. Say that again.
They're all great.
Yeah,
they're all great. The people that run them are all great. Yeah. We hold our Falcon football golf outing at Kilcarney, and so if you need a chance or a reason to play it, I'd love to have you at the golf outing. It'd be awesome.
I'll take you up on that. I also want to ask you. Someone has just texted me, a friend of mine, that says I should ask you about the town ball team you manage, the River Falls Fighting Fish.
This is great. So I was still playing beyond my college years in the semi. I was running my own semi-pro team out of my hometown in Indiana there, and actually won an Indiana state title, the whole thing. And when I got the job up here, I said, okay, it's probably a good time to, hang up the cleats. And I'm on the job for 3 days. And the mayor of our town at the time, Don Richards, who's actually featured during the ESPN game. He's one of the guys featured in one of the stories there. But he comes in my office. I don't know a single person up here. And he sits down, I never met him, and he says, I'm Don Richards, the mayor, and you're going to play for the Fighting Fish. And I said, what the hell are the Fighting Fish? And he said, it's our town ball team. I had no clue the tradition and pageantry and passion for town ball up here. And long story short, he gives me the number of the guy that runs the team, Josh Idem, and I do get a hold of him, and by God, I played my butt off for about 10 years for that group and won another state title. The crazy story, I'll make it as fast as I can. My first year, I never had I'm getting ready for my first preseason here. And I'm playing that summer with the Fish. So I'd just been in here for the winter time. And we're playing in the semifinal game of the state tournament up by La Crosse, 2 hours away. And I pitched an 11-inning game. I'm in the 11th inning, and I'm still in the game pitching. And we get done with the 11th, and I said, I got to go. My guys report to preseason for my first year here tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning. And it's 1 in the morning at the time. I got back at 3 in the morning for my first preseason. Didn't even see the game get finished. We win the game, and then win the next day for the state title. And I had started preseason, but I had to leave the game after pitching 11 innings to go make it on time for my first preseason here.
How long did the game end up going? How many innings?
One more inning. Okay. I could have stayed, but I didn't even see the end of it. Only one more inning.
Yeah, I mean, that's as legendary as Blackjack Morris Game 7, 1991 World Series. He only went 10. You went 11. What was the score when you left? Were you shutting the team out?
I know, but boy, it was a hell of a game. It was 5-5 maybe. But yeah, boy, it was a hell of a ball game. But I had to go. I had to leave.
I want to get back to football quick. Obviously the championship game's getting all the headlines now, but the semis was a heck of a finish against Johns Hopkins. You guys it was 41-41. You have like a 3rd and 6 deep in your own territory, and just an unbelievable catch and run by your wide receiver who, looked like that thing could have been picked off, and he just snagged it. That looked like a Division I NFL play to me. Where does that one rank amongst your all-time most memorable plays coaching at River Falls?
I think it's got to be the top one. Blake Rohr made the catch. He's a Woodbury kid. They'd played us man coverage almost all day. They walked the safety over the top of him, and he'd been hot, and Caleb let go of it. And I'm not sure he saw that safety. And right when he released it, I said, oh, God, that might be picked. And Blake jumps in front of the kid and goes 70 yards. And we were so blessed. ESPN was doing the game at that time with the production and the call. And the call of that play is going to go down as one of the coolest things ever. The guy doing it said, Blake Rohr just made the greatest play in the history of River Falls football as he's crossing the goal line, and ESPN's right, he did, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it was very similar to the Minneapolis Miracle, it sounds like to me. 41-41 is a play you got to have. Yeah, it's a play you had to have. That's incredible. So it seems like you guys had, you worked for it, but you live a charmed life there too, because you had some good things go your way. That's generally what has to happen if you're going to win a national championship, right? It's some things just have to go your way. There's always a little bit of luck involved.
I think there's no doubt. It's like, what are the chances? The bracket in Division III football playoffs is similar to the college basketball thing. There's 40 teams. They have 4 quadrants, so it's similar. And we're the 2 seed of our little quadrant, and the 1 seed gets beat in round 1. And so we host 4 home playoff games because that 1 seed gets beat, and then we're we get to stay at home on our home field, which is an incredible atmosphere, amazing atmosphere with our town and school and everybody. We get to have every game at home until we go to Canton for the national championship. It just all worked out in our favor.
Yeah. That celebration must have been something with the kids. I mean, it's something you're obviously not going to forget it, but they certainly won't either.
I've never cried more as a grown man than I did that day. I was crying in the locker room before. I don't do that, and I was crying before the game. I had a lot of emotion. It's like 15 years of all. Because, man, have I been blessed with great kids. These guys that played for me in 2011 all the way up through that COVID year where we weren't getting those results on the scoreboard. I keep saying, boy, they were giving me everything they had. They were laying foundation for this incredible culture and pushing the needle, even at that time before any of us knew they were pushing the needle. And it just felt like that was 15 years of emotion coming out, of frustration, because those kids that weren't getting those results, they really deserved to win because they worked just as hard as these current guys. I said, the current guys have gotten and deserved all the credit. But, man, it just felt like we were playing for all of Falcon Nation, those prior teams, and even before me, those 70s teams and 80s teams and the town of River Falls. I just felt we were playing for so many people beyond just us. It was incredible.
Well, hey, congratulations. It sounds like it's a dream come true for you and everybody else there. Go Falcons, go Fighting Fish. And thanks for sharing your time with us, and good luck to you next season. Thanks again. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Anytime, and I'm going to take you up on that golf outing.
Absolutely. I'm all in. You know me. Thanks. I'd never turned on a round of golf. Thanks, Matt.
Great.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Take care.
You bet. That's Matt Walker, head coach of the University of Wisconsin at River Falls. They win an Addy at the Amos Alonzo Stagg championship game, so good for them.
Pretty cool story.
It is really cool.
And, I saw the audio of him getting interviewed right after the game, and he was, as he just mentioned, very emotional, just kept talking about how he couldn't speak. And I have to imagine we didn't get to it with him, but to go that long of not having success, it's probably hard to not start doubting yourself at some point, and to persevere through that and to finally build that program 15 years later. It's very impressive.
Well, then I don't know how it works in Division III. If that's Division I, you ain't there 15 years if you're not winning a championship or going deep, right? You just aren't. So was there ever any time where it was like, do you think you're going to lose your job? I just don't know in Division III if it's that, if it's, I know it's important to the school and the community and such like that, but there's not as many dollars involved in Division III football there is Division I. So I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
We have a new quarterback whisperer in town.
We have a new quarterback whisperer. Well, then he's a quarterback's coach. Maybe the Vikings should bring him on over and he could maybe
take out McCown.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, what have you done for me lately? And maybe we bring in
Blaha.
The Blaha.
I mean, he's overtaking Joe Burrow.
Yeah, think about it. He broke Joe. If the kid never plays another snap ever again, and now his record might get broken someday too. But he go, if you look at the record book, I mean, Google me.
Yeah,
Google me, and you'll see my numbers are better than Joe Burrow. So it is. That's pretty cool. No Rock Talk today. Oak out. That's cool. He'll come back again another day. He's like Frosty the Snowman. Other side of the break, it'll be 5-3-4-10. What you got?
They are unbeatable at the barn.